and all I do is basically throw the rest of the bell peppers on for decoration and flavor. I mean, you know, because bell peppers make great flavor.
Welcome back to the trail with Mushy, the cowboy cook. Today I'm going to show you some footage that I filmed a couple weeks ago with MulE again. He made enchiladas Sonora style. Now, one thing with that recipe and the pozole and sopapilla, those are recipes that he grew up on. He's from out west, and you know, whether it's his aunt, mother, grandmother made these recipes, same as in your family. You really enjoy them, and then as you get older and grow up, become an adult, to feel that family tie back in the feel of being a kid again, you want to make some of those recipes that, like I said, an aunt, grandma made every time you visited, or at like a family reunion. And these are some of the recipes that he had growing up. So think about recipes that you know, dishes you had growing up, and are you still making those nowadays? My great-grandmother always had an apple pie whenever we would come to visit my grandmother, and then we'd go over and see her. She always, if she knew I was coming to town, she would have an apple pie ready, and always good. Wish I could make apple pies like that, but that's something to strive for. And then if you actually have the recipe, that's even better. So remember my Amazon affiliate link. I am hot now, so anything you buy through my channel, I will make a small commission off of it, which helps the channel out financially. So with all that said, let's get into the video with MulE. Alright, for these enchiladas, got MulE here prepping the vegetables. We've got red bell peppers there. He's got some orange ones there, yellow, green bell peppers, and then he's got some tomatoes he's got to prep. And while he's prepping that, we've got Mosey over here. Now I'll show you what he's doing. Alright, we got Mosey over here. He is browning up some sausage, and then after he does that, he's got some hamburger he is browning up. And then once we get all this prepped, we'll come back and show you how it's put together. Alright, now MulE is taking soft white corn tortillas, spreading a little margarine on it, and just stacking them up. Again, prepping, and that way whenever we go to, we'll come back and show everything get assembled and then start cooking it. Or
these have to be melted.
So we'll melt the margarine onto it, heat it up a little bit. So what are we assembling? It's a certain type of enchilada?
These are called Sonora style enchiladas. It's a recipe that my mom handed down to me a long time ago. It's basically a flat enchilada. Instead of the rolling, basically you stack it like a lasagna.
Okay.
So basically, to get started, all you do is you line your pan with the buttered corn tortillas from earlier.
That you heated.
That we heated up, melted that butter on. You get you a good layer around the bottom of the pan. These are kind of falling apart because they got really well melted.
You'll all eat in the end, that's all we care about.
All right,
so it kind of looks a little bit like a wagon wheel.
Kind of like a little wagon wheel. And then basically what I do is I take and we put half of the meat that we have in here now down here in the bottom.
So you took the sausage and the hamburger and just mixed it up.
Mixed it all together in the same exact pan. Oh, hey, Chad.
Sir.
Can you grab me them 2 bags of cheese, please, sir?
Yeah.
Forgot to get my cheese.
And you were saying this was gluten-free?
Yeah, this is actually, because of the corn tortillas, everything in this is gluten-free. So when we've been having those conversations about, you know, trying to make more gluten-free meals that are friendly.
Yeah, for the rodeo.
Yeah, when we were talking there at Terra Creek. And then basically what I do is I just line with bell peppers. Use the green ones on the bottom. I save some for the top. Just try to make it look a nice presentation. And then where you'll see where I'll take the end pieces that I chopped up, and that's what I'll spatter around on the inside down in here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it all tastes the same.
Oh, it comes out. It does make for a whole lot moister meal. Throw a couple of red down inside of here. And a couple of orange just to color it up just a little bit.
So really the prep work is the hardest part.
It really is. And then, so basically you take your enchilada sauce and you just pour your enchilada sauce right at the bottom of the pan. And because this is such a large pan, I do 2 for the inside of it. And then you take the cheese, and it literally is, it's just like layering lasagna.
Yeah, yeah.
Real simple, real easy to make, and it does go a long ways.
Yeah, meat and cheese and pasta, lasagna.
The only thing we'd have to change up.
You're just substituting corn tortillas for the pasta.
Yep. So like I said, we put a nice layer of cheese in here. And then this is where we went and diced up those tomatoes. So I'll go ahead and throw those tomatoes, layer those right on top of this. All right, and then, so now, basically, same thing again, second layer. We go in, well, those got a little overdone, but it'll be all right. We're gonna get through them. Because then once we get all this put together, then we need to go ahead and put it all back on the campfire and cook it all up. And the only thing I do a little different on this is I actually use the green chili sauce for the top. There's that. Again, we can just layer in the rest of our meat. Get that all layered in. They're called Sonora style enchiladas. They're flat enchiladas. And then you get your cheese in here.
And being flat, you don't have to roll them, so it makes it even easier.
Just, like I said, real easy to make, real easy to the hardest work is doing the prep work. And it's not even really that difficult. The hardest part is browning the meat and chopping up vegetables a little bit. And of course, I like lots of cheese just because it was work better.
Yeah, and if you like a different kind of cheese.
Yeah, I mean, I just use a Mexican mixed cheese.
Right.
It works out very well. Oop. Want this next?
All right, you guys got to know Cowboy Kent Rollins. Seen him on YouTube? Oh yeah. Figure.
All right, and then the green chili sauce. And then all I do is basically throw the rest of the bell peppers on for decoration and flavor. I mean, you know, because bell peppers make great flavor. Keep losing them.
Well, that would definitely feed a crowd.
Oh, this right here will feed a heap of people now.
And you can, you know, do it smaller.
Yeah, I mean,
for
well,
a couple
usually
people.
when I do it for when I cook it at home,
Yeah.
basically what I end up doing is I do a 9x9 bacon pan, you know, and cut everything in half. A pound of hamburger, a pound of sausage,
Right.
you know, 1 can of enchilada sauce, 1 can of green enchilada sauce, green chili sauce, you know, 1 bell pepper of each.
So it's real easy to go more or less.
Oh yeah, it's easily scalable.
Right.
For whatever situation you happen to be prepping for.
And obviously very versatile. You can change the meat if you don't eat pork or whatever, or if you want jalapenos, onions.
This is a definite add as you desire meal.
Right. Well, we definitely like those on the channel.
There you go. It's that simple. Now we're going to go ahead and I'll put the lid on it. We'll throw it on the fire, let it heat up, let everything melt down, and then we're ready to serve.
That big, it'd probably take 30 minutes, maybe 40,
30 minutes.
right in there.
So yeah, like some real simple, real easy recipes, and that's what we try to do on this, is keep it as simple as we can.
Nice.
Make it easy to work with.
Well, again, I appreciate it. We'll come back and when it's done and give it a sample.
Absolutely.
All right, for MulE's dish, the flat enchiladas, put a little sour cream on it. That red enchilada sauce and the green sauce. And the sour cream really really pulls it together. But once again, another good dish, this time from MulE. Now, as big as pot as that was, that took a little bit longer to cook, but it was several layers. Put in like you said, a 9x9 pan, probably 30 minutes or so, 350 degrees. Because you got to cook the peppers a little bit, and that doesn't take long. And then melting the cheese and let that sauce bubble a little bit. That's all it takes. So another easy dish that we can incorporate out here on the trail, as well as our catering side of it. And you at home, give it a try. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video on the enchilada Sonora style, which is a flat tortilla, not rolled up. Very tasty. We actually made it the next weekend when we went to Cherokee with the rodeo. Everyone loved it. We had both weekends, we had plenty of food. That big pot made a bunch. So we, the weekend with the rodeo, we had plenty of food for them. And then with the show where we did it at the Old Mill Crank Up, we fed our neighbors, our friends there. Typically at these shows, over the years, we've had some friends out there, and they know we cook. So they may be on the other side, but we'll either try and run them a bowl of food, or they able to come over and eat with us. And we enjoy feeding them. We have a good time with our friends, and we make new friends. Typically about every show, there'll be a new, somebody new we've never met that's a crafts person, or somebody showing an engine or something that now we become friends after talking to them over the weekend, and we'll feed them. And that's what we enjoy doing. So we are going to be this coming weekend, Friday and Saturday, which is June 9th and 10th of 2023 in Thomasville, North Carolina, at the T-Ville Vintage Power Show, or Vintage Tractor Show. Typically, like some of the other shows we've been to, from what I gather, I've never been there. I am looking forward to it. So if you are in the area, come on out, say hello, look at the other crafts people. I do know one crafts person that's going to be there, and that's Joe, the blacksmith. He's out of Mount Airy, North Carolina. And one of the things he's going to be doing is making a cook set like what we use. And he's doing it for either one of the cowboys or somebody else, but we got him an order of that. And so he'll be making it that weekend. So if you do come out, you can actually see him making it, and then you can come by the wagon and actually see what the finished product will look like once he's done. So come out if you can. I think the weather is going to be good. And that's the 9th and 10th, Friday and Saturday. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with friends. Like it. And as always, ring the bell, and Mushy, the cowboy cook, will see you down the trail.